Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon to you. I'm so honored to be here to join you this afternoon for your session. And thank you so much for the invite. Ms. Kerr and your team. It's always good partnering with the Western Regional Health Authority. And it's good to see you all here. Corrine Gray and Jillian Williams, Donita Wallace, I know that name. Yes, man, Lorraine Salmon and Kelly and all the rest of you. And it would be lovely to see some of you on the screens. We are already limited by the fact that we have to make this a virtual exercise. But even though virtual, we can actually ensure that we can face off instead of space off, where you just see people's name and wondering, hey, I wonder what does that person look like? So if you're at all positioned to come on camera, please do so, as it helps to gauge the presenter's delivery in knowing whether or not he's just beating the air or he's actually getting through. Because you see, the difference between communication and information is that information is about getting the word out, but communication is about getting the word through. So some persons have informed you, but they have not communicated. And the only way for you to actually know if communication has been effective is to get what? Feedback. And you don't want to wait until the end of a long communication process like a guest speaker to get the feedback. You want to be getting it all along. When you're in church, S. Miller, you hear amen, and you say yes, that is connecting with somebody. Or you might be in an audience of a seminar like this and you see somebody nodding the head one way or the other, or perhaps just clapping gently, and you're like, okay, something is making sense here. So thank you so much, DL3. I see you all mask up for the cameras. Wonderful. You're keeping social distancing in Zoom, and I know that some of you are around individuals, so you also have to ensure the protocols. Ladies and gentlemen, do I see any gentlemen here? Ms. Kerr, is all ladies in the room? No gentlemen? No gentlemen?
No,
Let me just,
no.
all ladies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we have a number. No, we have a number of gentlemen, and we are in a big office of
Okay.
a number of persons. So
fantastic. Now I know, so I can know how to. That's all right. So Western Regional, here we are. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Can you imagine? We are still amidst the crisis. A year and about 8 months ago, going on a year and 9 months, well, a year and 8 months thereabout, we were plunged into a situation of destitution. Growing up, they used to say that young birds don't know Hurricane Jillian Williams, but this hurricane has struck everyone so badly that even the old birds do not know this Hurricane Ray Coke. We have all been at it together, and we thought, no doubt, that would have already been through it. But here we are still grappling with a pandemic, and you are in the front of it, the heart of it, dealing with those who have been affected, and you yourselves have to be looking out for your best interests, because as I always mention, the servant must be serviced in order to ensure that the servant is properly positioned to carry on his service. The servant must be serviced. And so I'm glad for this opportunity to interact with you today, to give you a little motivation and inspiration as you position yourselves to move beyond what is happening now. We are not getting the plenty that we had all hoped for in 2020. If it were not for God's goodness, perhaps we would have gotten instead empty. But thank God we are still here, and every day above ground is a good day. It doesn't matter how bad it is, the fact that we are above ground, it's an opportunity for us to build back, for us to come back. You understand what I mean? And we are not rejoicing over those who are on the ground, but we're actually thankful that we could have been like the rest, because, except for the grace of God, even the best of us could have ended up like the rest of us. When I look at the statistics that on an average each day, 151,600 people die, regardless of what caused their death, I'm like, wow, I have reasons to celebrate. It's It's now 107. And it means that between 107 yesterday and this very moment, 107 yesterday afternoon and this very moment, over 151,600 people on an average died worldwide. And the fact that you are in Zoom is testament that you are alive and well. God has been good. Just give him some thanks and let him know that you are grateful for what he has done for you. PTL, that's the new praise the Lord in shorthand language. Good to see you, Tisha McLean. So ladies and gentlemen, from all across the Western region, I want you to know that you can grow through what you go through. You can grow through what you go through. The story is told of a man who said to his son, I want you to go outside and roll away the big boulder to the back of the building. We're going to call the son Paul. And Paul was just 9 years old. And his father gave him such a mammoth task to undertake. But because his father told him he could, then he decided to give it a try. But when he stepped outside Gillian Williams and he started to push, as soon as the rock rocked forward a bit, it rolled right back into place. So the man kept on saying to his son, because he was not too far away, you can do it, sonny boy, but you've got to push with all of your might. So Paul thought he wasn't muscling up enough, you know, so he tried to find all the vim, the vigor, and the vitality that he could locate in his body. And then he started to push, but every time little Paul pushed, the rock rolled right back into place. He got frustrated at his father constantly shouting, you can do it, Paul, but you have to push with all of your might. Well, ultimately, Paul gave up and he began to cry and said to his father, this is impossible. His father then walked over and said to him, Kelly, let us do this together. And seamlessly, they rolled away the boulder to the back of the building. Paul's father then sat him down and said, Paul, when I give you this task to do, I knew it was impossible for you to accomplish. He said, Dad, that's not fair. That's unfair. Why would you have given me something that you knew I was unable to do? And then the father said to him, it is because I wanted to teach you an important lesson in life. And that is the strength you need is not always found in you. Sometimes you have everything that you need at your disposal to find the solution to the problem that you are facing. But sometimes the problem is bigger than you yourself. And in such cases, do not allow your pride to cause you to slide. Call for help when you need it. I stood there hoping that you would have said, Dad, I'm not able to do this all by myself. Come over here with all that brawn and muscle and let us do it together. But you felt that pushing with all of your might meant pushing alone. Ladies and gentlemen, as you go through this very difficult season, I want to implore you from the offset, push with all of your might. And in order for you to push with all of your might, Udrika Brooks, it's not about pushing alone. It's about pushing together as a team, because teamwork still makes the dream work. You need to understand there's a beautiful principle that is brought to us from an African proverb that I cherish so much. And this is what it says. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I want somebody to open up a microphone and repeat it for me. Come on, anybody. A volunteer. You don't have to come on camera if you're not camera ready. Let's hear you say it. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Let's hear it.
If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Then you're going to say your name, Western Regional. It's like news, you know, you're going to report it now, Donita Wallace. I said Donita Wallace.
Donita Johnson Wallace reporting from Western Regional Health Authority.
Come on, somebody. So let's warm up. Let's do it properly now. Let's take it from the top. Let's take it from the top.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome to Breaking News. Hello, I'm Jermaine Johnson, and now for the latest happenings across Jamaica. Western Regional Health Authorities boosted to work together as a team to mitigate the challenges of the pandemic and more. Danita Johnson-Wallace, our local correspondent, tells us more. Over to you, Danita.
Thank you, Jermaine. Thanks for touching base. Reporting from the Freeport office for Western Regional Health Authority, we're saying to our colleagues at this time, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
That's Danita Johnson-Wallace
for Western Regional Health Authority.
Thank you so much, Danita, for giving us the latest happenings down there in Western Regional. Keep watching as we bring you the latest news and reviews. And that's it for Breaking News. Join me again on top of the hour for another episode. Breaking News was brought to you by Western Regional Health Authority. Come on, put your hands together for her virtually. Well done. She's ready for the news. She's ready for the news. But don't leave the authority, but you're ready for the news. So if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Let me tell you something right off the bat. When it comes on to working with people, it can be a real challenge, but we still need each other because we are different. Even our DNAs prove it. Our fingerprints prove it. I have had situations of persons telling me that they have bought new phones. Did I just say new phones? But as soon as they've gotten the phone with the new number, persons are texting familiarly and persons are calling. In one case, the young lady had to return it. Why did she have to return it? Because Eudrika, somebody kept on messaging that you are not taking my calls and it's not going to go down like this. She tried to indicate by WhatsApp that it's the wrong person you're messaging, but the person was adamant that he or she was messaging the right individual. Why was it so? A recycled phone number. But God has been so good that as much as we've had billions of people, living simultaneously throughout the world in our postmodern era, not to mention the billions who have died over the years, fingerprints have not run out, DNAs have not run out, everybody comes unique. And right off the bat, we can appreciate that you do not need to be like me in order to like me. Hello, somebody, did I get that? Did you get that? You do not need to be like me in order to like me. Tasha, raise her hand. Tasha, open up your microphone and say so that everybody can hear your nice voice. Let me see what pandemic I do with your voice in the Western Regional. Let's hear from Tasha. Tasha McLean reports.
I say glory to that, Pastor.
And I want you to repeat it. You do not need to be like me in order to like me.
You don't need to be like me in order to like me.
Amen. Thank you very much. That's Tasha McLean, our local correspondent, reporting. So listen, you need to understand the beauty of coming together. So test them fingerprints. That's called idiosyncrasy. It's unique to you, your DNA, and so much more about you. And likewise, our personalities. Now, if you think dealing with people is difficult, ask how dealing with you works out. Sometimes we cannot get along with ourselves, Ray Coke, much as to bring other people in the mix. Sometimes we are split between two opinions. What am I going to wear to the wedding? Do I go to work today? Do I not? What am I going to cook for the Sunday dinner? Am I going to get some oxtail, broad beans, and some roast potatoes? I'm going to do some roast chicken and rice and peas and things like these. We sometimes have internal conflicts with ourselves, and much less to bring others into the mix. But it's important to bring folks into it. Now, understand, as Solomon was a wise man, said that two are better than one. Because if one falls down, the other will assist him. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, because he has no one to help him. In this time and season, we've seen more than ever where it is important for us to have a support system. It doesn't matter how much we are different. We can unite for the sake of looking after each other. You're living and working in a very stressful environment. And whereas others may be able to ease back and just keep away from the the direct blow of the pandemic, you are frontline workers. You are right at the heart of it, helping to keep our nation healthy. But you are not machines. And as a result of that, it takes a toll upon you. Several of your colleagues have died in the Western region. Well, in Jamaica overall, but more specifically in your region, I've seen what is happening. And no doubt, seeing that it has gotten close to home. And if you are interacting with people right there in the environment of affected individuals, and you have seen other colleagues of yours who are doing similarly, dead, dying from the pandemic, that is going to have a mental toll. But let me tell you something, do not leave out your resilience, because at the end of the day, whatever God brings you to, he can bring you through. And that's why throughout this time, you have to maintain the right mindset. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Do you know that text? As a man thinks in his heart, Proverbs 23 verse 7, so is he. You have to learn to keep a positive vibration, because in this difficult time in which we've come to live, you cannot allow the proclivity of negativity to stifle your positivity and your productivity. You've got to keep your mind clear, because mindset is very critical. It helps you to better cope with the challenges you face, such as grieving, such as changing working environment, such as changing your circumstances. You have personal challenges, and there are also professional challenges, and that is why we need to ensure that we work together as a team. Now, understand, the two are better than one concept. It means that where I fall short, you stand tall. And where you stand tall, you fall short, I stand tall. So we all sharpen each other. Iron sharpeneth iron. Two are better than one, because if the one falls down, the other one will assist him. But woe to him who is alone when he falls. And why is that so? Because he has no one there to assist him. We've got to learn the beauty of bringing others into the mix. And even though we may feel as if we are loners, know that we work better together. We do what? We work better together. We cannot fulfill the vision if we are embracing division. Did you get that, Paul? I say we cannot fulfill the vision if we are embracing division. And that is why it is important for us to learn the beauty of corroboration, speaking together, and collaboration, working together. For we cannot fulfill what? The vision if we're embracing the vision. So unity is critical. But it's important to understand that unity does not mean uniformity. And there we go again. That's like saying all over again in a different way. You do not have to be like me in order to like me. Unity does not mean uniformity. Have you checked out how people relate based on their temperaments? We have persons with different temperaments. They like according to their temperament. They think according to their temperament. They act according to their temperament. So some of you are very melancholic. You're just, you internalize everything. You think deeply about things. You easily become stressed out, but it makes you very analytical. And therefore, you tend to be very good at what you do. You like working behind the scene and working all by yourself, because you have a lot of time to do that type of introspection that is necessary. Then you have some of us, we are very what? We are very phlegmatic. We are more balanced, the in-betweeners, more like the peacemakers, taking it easy and all. And then we have now the sanguine, up like 7, life of the party man. Come on, folks, don't be so low. It's time for you to grow. And then now we have the choleric, a bit neurotic. We are here and there, high and low, mood swings. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Those who are melancholic indicate if you know your temperament. Let me see those who are melancholic. If you're not afraid to indicate your temperament, if you think you're more melancholic, please indicate. All right, what? Western region and the melancholy. Where are the phlegmatics in the building? Where are the sanguines in the building? Okay, we see one phlegmatic here. So Eugerica Brooks is phlegmatic. Where are the sanguine people in the building? Where are the persons who are choleric in the building? Your mood just swings all over the place. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're all around. But the good thing is that nobody is defined entirely by a temperament. You are defined, no doubt, by the fact that you have a predominant trait of a particular one, but you are not confined to it. And so we all have a little of each of them, and we have to maturely determine which works out in our best interest in each situation. But unity doesn't mean uniformity. We do not have to be like each other to like each other, because at the end of the day, it is best when we have a support system. Now, when you cannot change circumstances, then you change the way you respond to circumstances. As we look around us, a lot of things are pressing against us. You are seeing death, you are seeing sickness, you are seeing lockdowns, you are seeing uncertainty, you are seeing health problems, you are seeing money problems, some are seeing man problems, woman problems. The problems are all around. But at the end of the day, when you cannot change what you're going through, then the best thing to do is to change the way you respond to it. Your response is very important, and thus it doesn't boil down only to your reality, Belchapert, but also to your mentality. It's not only about reality, but also about mentality. What's going on around you externally has to get a response from what's going on internally to determine your final positioning. Are we together? And I always love to share this analogy that the same hot water that softens potatoes is the same hot water that hardens eggs. And when coffee beans go into that same hot water, instead of the hot water dominating, the coffee beans dominate and the water turns black. Are we together? So it goes to show that it's all about your response. You can either be crushed out like a potato, you can be hardened like an egg, or you can take charge of your circumstances and dominate like coffee beans and flavor up whatever you're in, because you can grow through whatever you go through. Because learn at the end of the day that if God takes you to it, he can take you through it. These are extenuating circumstances, and you are not always going to feel up like 7 knowing that things are down like 11, but you have to maintain that positive embrace so that it can keep you in a good place internally, mentally speaking, for you to be able to cope as you go along. And that is where your team comes in. Yes, I'm not saying that you have to get along with everybody at the same level, but at the same time, you can unite for the objectives of advancing your mission as healthcare providers. Know that even Jesus had an inner circle. Apart from the 12 disciples and the multitudes of followers, he talked about what? Peter, James, and John. Yes, man. Have your little inner circle, people you can always call upon whenever you need assistance or input. Set aside your general workforce. Have your little personal circle, persons from family, persons from colleagues and friends who are there to talk to you and to encourage you. And some of you don't have any family at home. You need that support system as well, somebody to check up on you, because anything could happen on the lockdown. When you go home in the evenings, anything could go down. You need persons to be accountable partners. You don't always have to be drawn long benches and talking all night long, but you need somebody to say, hey, everything is all right. Have you gotten in safely? And say, yeah, man, I just got in. I'm going to hold a shower and I'm going to settle down. Me beat out like our, tired like our. I say, good. Celia is settled on the inside. You need persons to know that you are in a good place. And if anything, they can come to your rescue or get you the assistance you need. It's not the time for people to be pulling apart. It's the time for us to be pulling together. Because what we find, because I work with several organizations, when people are under pressure, sometimes the pressure has a way of pushing them away from each other, not recognizing that when they combine their forces, they are better able to mitigate whatever circumstances they undergo. You are able to better battle the challenges you face personally and professionally when you do so as a team. Now, a man once heard his phone ringing, and this analogy is an allegory. The man heard his phone ringing and he wanted to answer the call because he couldn't see him without his glasses though, his spectacles. Thank God I got it right, Ray Cook. I was sharing it once, and instead of saying spectacles, I used a word that rhymed with spectacles, but I will not repeat the word in this setting. So the man reached out for his spectacles and tried to put them on so he could see where the glass was maybe done also Brissett in order to put them on. But guess what? The nose pushed off the glasses and said, no. I used to be very beautiful, but now I have these ugly blotches. Do you know why? Because I have been holding the glasses for the eyes for too long. I'm now looking out for my personal interest. If the eyes need glasses, let the eyes hold them. The man kept on forcing on the glasses, Anne-Marie Brown Mitchell, but the nose kept on pushing them off, saying, I am not holding any glasses for the eyes. If the eyes need glasses, let the eyes hold them. Ultimately, the man, not wanting to miss his phone call, fumbled for the phone and fell and broke his nose. Suzette Napier, while the nose was there crying out in excruciating pain, the eye sympathetically glanced down and said, we are sorry, nose. We were always looking out for the face's best interest, but we couldn't see today because we don't know where our glasses were. The eyes need the nose and the nose need the eyes. We all need each other. Let us learn to be each other's keeper. Let us learn to embrace each other, to lift up other. So whether you're at the top of the hierarchy or at the bottom, everybody has to play a part in ensuring that there is that synergy and that coherency to fulfill the objective of taking care of you personally and taking care of you professionally. I remember one year I was presenting at the Caribbean Versus Association Regional Conference at a certain hotel. And after presenting and I was about to leave, I came across one of the exhibitors outside. And the individual said to me, are you the pastor that just spoke on the inside? And I said, yes, I'm the person. The individual said, tell me, why are you a pastor and not just a regular member? And then I said, well, I'm just a regular member with the title of a pastor. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. But so let me put it another way. If it is that all the folks in my churches fail to do what it is they do, the elders, the deacons, the ministry directors, etc., the praise team leaders and all, if all of them fail to do what it is they do and I still succeed, then it goes to show that it's just about me, the pastor. But if they stop from doing what they do and I fail, it goes to show that what they do is as important as what I do, because their functions are important to fulfill the objectives of the organization just as mine is. And so I'm just a regular member with the responsibility of a pastor. And his friend look at him and say, yo, the man born you over for 6. And the man asked me, did you practice, did you rehearse that one, don't it? I said, no, but anybody who ever asks the question again, it's the same response they're going to get. You all need each other. So whether you're supervising, whether you're managing, or you're at the bottom of the tier, we have to learn how to combine, to respect authority, to respect each other as a person, and not just with respect to the position that one might hold. Because at the end of the day, even though we mentally know that we have a responsibility to fulfill our duties, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so if you are going to be able to go through these difficult times and to ensure that you have the right type of teamwork and to have the right type of professional attitude to take your work to the next latitude, you need to be great. You need to be gravitative, receptive, emotive, affirmative, and transformative. Come on, if you can remember people's business, I can remember the acronym. What is the great again, everybody? Gravitative, receptive, emotive, affirmative, and transformative. Let's go. Gravitative, you need to draw near to each other. You cannot make an impact upon people if you're out of touch with them. And drawing near is not just about being in a physical space. It is about embracing a relationship. It doesn't have to get deep like bench and bottom friendship, but you need to ensure that there is more than just, hey, you are the person to do that, full stop. We need to let people know that we care about them. Empathy has always been proven to help to bring about beautiful synergy amongst team members. And so learn to empathize, because people will not always function at their best because of what's going down. And so when you relate to them more than just a profession, but treat them as a person. And I know the age-old saying, we must dichotomize the personal from the professional. But the reality of life is that we use our personal to fulfill our professional. Hello, somebody? Yes, you do not get to switch off your personal whenever you go to work to do your professional, and vice versa. Are we together? And so when you're getting ready, Apollo the Smith in the morning to go to work, you do not get to turn off the bad news you just got that somebody died for you, or maybe you're getting born. I'm not saying that Smith is getting any born, just an example, or you're about to have a foreclosure, etc. And to say, oh my gosh, what a rough news I've gotten in the morning. Anyway, I need to get to work. Western Regional needs me. And you press a button. Ding! Professional mode activated in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're professional. Woo! I'm feeling great. Hello, Miss McLean. Great to see you. You're looking good in your wedding white. Oh, Karine Gray, how are you doing today? I love the colors. I don't even know what colors Karine is in today. We do not have the opportunity to just code switch between personalities and realities. So if things are not going down well personally, then guess what? It's going to affect how you behave professionally. Now we can learn to be plastic, but if you have extenuating circumstances, one can plastic for so long and no further. And that is why it is important to, if you realize that somebody's not giving you the type of input and enthusiasm to fulfill their work as you are accustomed to, you may want to ask, what's happening? And I'm not talking even public, like a public scolding. I say, hey, where you say, Ray? I say, yeah, man, what are you going on lunch break today? I say, me not even know. Give me a rough idea. So about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I say, yeah, man, me have something to run by you. And I say, what you want to run by me? I know. And you say, I've noticed from the other day you haven't been like yourself. I'm not prying, but I know your type of energy having worked around you and all, but things seem a bit off. Is everything good? All right? Everything, what's up deep down? Yeah? What's up deep down? And right then, you may not hear WRHA's business, because people determine how much of a disclosure they disclose based on the level of relationship. But even if they will not reveal everything to you, Alicia Whitnam Gale, just the fact that you empathize, just the fact that you care to know if I am really doing well, it does something special. Am I talking to somebody here this morning? So what is the G? Gravitative, draw near to people, not just physically, but in a personal way. Get to know. We don't have to become the best of friends, but at least we can treat each other like people. Are we together? So let the Audi do be more than just a greeting, because some people don't want to know. Some people don't want to know Susan up here. So when they say, hey, how are you today? They don't want to hear. So most people just play the hypocrite and say, I'm doing fine, thank you, because they know say you don't want to know. And that is why if you ask somebody the same, how are you, 3 times in a conversation, it's going to get deeper each time, Princess Wedderburn. It's going to get deeper each time. So watch how it goes now. Watch how it goes now. You come in and say, hey, Celia, how are you today? We say, well, they are going to take it easy. All right. That is the generic response, Johnson Wallace. Then now you did talking a little bit about work and how things are going on and all. So you say, so boys, so I go on, Miguel. You know, and when you say that now, you know, you're going to hear a little more. You're not going to get the same. Well, me there, take it easy. You never hear somebody say, me there, take it easy. No, the fact that you've asked a second time, then Celia is going to recognize that I'm not making a casual inquiry. I am going a little deeper than how they do. Are we together? A little deeper than the greeting. So I go on, Miguel. I said, boy, I'm stressed out. Well, I can't believe Patsy did and now it's really taking a toll on me. You know, we were very close. And but they are trying to put the best forward. We know so outside might look one way, but look good because the clothes them nice same way. Because clothes can show stress. But on the inside, you know, too nice at all. As one man would say, you're feeling well, you're looking well, but you're feeling hell. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? You're looking well, but you're feeling hell. And then right there and then now, Celia would have gone a little deeper, you know, and then if you keep talking a little bit, if you have a little chit chat going on, and then further down you say, so whole life, you have a ear say, I want some money, I know if you go pay for the car because right I know me owe them, have 1 month in the back and me know owe them back the state. I don't want to take taxi come and work, make it like a naysay, them go wonder where the vehicle gone if I broke a dead take away. In other words, the more you get into the how are you, walk good on how is life, the more you feel. I'm not saying that you must be prying in people's business, no, if you go share it, you know. You need to understand how to respect people's privacy. But when you're doing it to show you care, and even if Celia, we're not willing to disclose all of that. Just the fact that you are asking, how are you beyond the casual, good afternoon, how are you? It makes a world of difference. That's how we build relationships. You know, we need to learn to put aside the isms and the schisms, the skepticisms and all, and let us learn to embrace each other because everyone is going through something you know nothing about. Don't let the Dolce Gabbana fool you. Don't let the nice Atiati hairstyle them fool you. Don't let the Chinese shop nicest them fool you. Don't let the copper sunset in the hair fool you and the cranberry crush and the ruby red and the other colors them will make everything look bright and beautiful like all creatures, great and small. Don't let the Remy Yaki and the conical and premium Yaki fool you. And even when a Brazilian frontal, don't make it fool you. Hello, somebody. Yes, ma'am. Because everybody's going through something that you know nothing about. Be kind. Are we together? Be kind. People are not going to walk and advertise their business for you to know it. The following is a public service announcement. I'm having woman problem. You're not going to know like that. And so even when persons may be acting out of whack, out of sync, out of what you're accustomed to, even before drawing a conclusion, try to get that little one-on-one to find out what is happening. Why? You might just recognize that instead of a scolding, the person is in need of a holding. Well, the holding can't go right now because of social distancing and all, but just even a mental hug. Are we together here? You might just find out that instead of a scolding, the person is really in need of a holding. Let me teach you how to encourage one another. I'll call them persons randomly and you will just choose a name in the chat and just ask how the person is doing. And whomever you call on will actually tell you how they are doing. I'm not saying that you're supposed to disclose what you don't want to disclose now, but make it random and don't call up on your friend where you know you always chat to. Mix it up. So let's go. We're starting with Kelly. Kelly, choose anybody you want to choose in the chat and ask, how are you doing? And I want the person you call upon to open up the microphone and respond. Go ahead, Kelly. While Kelly searches for the microphone, how about you, Gillian Legister? Is shy everybody paying for me an idea? Oh, there you go, Gillian.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Hi,
Gillian.
Karine. How are you? Karine Gray.
Karine? It seems like Karine is not there. Let's try another person, Gillian Legister.
God of mercy. Hi, Donita. How are you?
Danita. One strike, two strike. Jillian, last strike. Call on another person.
Hi, Sister Napier. How are you?
I must say I'm blessed and highly favored regardless of all the stress in the region.
Amen. Thank you so much, Sister Napier. Thank you, Jillian. Now, Sister Napier, I want you now to choose another person and ask, how are you?
Good afternoon, Princess Wedderburn. How are you?
I am doing very, very well. I'm grateful for life. I need some money. Can I get some help?
All right. So thank you so much, Sister Napier and Princess Wedderburn. Princess Wedderburn, one last one. You choose somebody and that's how they're doing.
All right, I'll do so. Let me go through.
And I hope you get some money soon.
You're right. Ray Cook, how are you doing today?
What you say again?
Ray Cook? Okay.
Hey, me dear. Dirty tough, but God good.
I tell you, so true.
Thank you so much, Princess Wedderburn and Reiko. Yes, man. Be gravitative if you're going to be great and draw near to each other. It's not just about being in the physical space, but it's about making an emotional connection. So persons can know that they're not just things around you, but you appreciate that, hey, we're all in this together. Why? Two are better than one. Be receptive and hear them. So G is to be gravitative and draw near them. R is to be receptive and hear them. Yes, man. So don't make it a one-way communication now. Don't just say, hey, good afternoon, how are you? Are you gone? You ever hear people doing that? Hi, good morning, how are you? I'm gone like a gunshot. Don't ask now, how are you, if you don't want to hear how are me. If you don't want to hear how I'm doing. So don't bother with the how are you for casual purposes. If you're going to say, how are you? At least pause to hear how I'm doing. Yeah, and of course I said that first one is typically going to be casual, depending on how it is asked and the context in which it is asked. If you are just passing by and say, how are you? Right there before everybody else, naturally you're going to get a generic response. I'm not doing too bad. And you? I'm doing well, thank you. All right, take care. That's it. But if we're sitting down having a drink or having a little chit chat, relaxing outside of the office or in a room while the work has toned down a bit, and somebody say, Lorraine Salmon, how are you? Clearly that is not a greeting, how are you? That one is asking, how are things going on with you at this time? Be receptive and hear them. You may not always be able to provide the solutions needed, but at least you can always give a listening ear. You notice, for example, Princess Wedderburn says she wants some money. Me no know if Sister Napier have no money to give to her, but at least, just to hear her, it really makes a difference. And that is how we build synergy amongst ourselves. First, we are gravitative and we draw near to each other, not just physically, but emotionally. Have you ever heard the saying, the Lord will never leave you or forsake you? Raise your hand if you have done it, digital hand or physical hand. Now, once upon a time, we used to think that, hey, that simply meant the same thing. It's redundant. But then I've grown to recognize that no, leaving and forsaking are not synonymous, though often used interchangeably. To leave is to remove your physical presence, whereas to forsake is to remove your emotional presence. It is to renounce. It is to forget about. It doesn't exist. That is why they say all fire stick easy to catch, because sometimes the woman left, but she never forsook. But that's for another time and another place. Hello, somebody. So whereas one might have gone, physically, they remain connected mentally and emotionally, and therefore things are still seeping there. So when you leave the pot on the fire, you are coming back to check up on it because you bear it in mind. You don't want to burn down the house, now burn up the dinner, especially when grocery gets so expensive and you get little bit of money. You understand what I mean? So you want to make sure that you watch it. So though you are not there physically, you are bearing in mind mentally. So to leave is just to remove your physical presence, but for a moment. But to forsake is to literally forget about her. And so it's important to be gravitative, to draw near to people, not just in a physical way, but in a personal connecting way, so that they can know that even when they're out of sight, they're not out of mind. Be receptive and do what? You need to hear them, listen. Listening can make a world of difference. Some persons just need to vent. Some persons just need somebody to say to. You may not be the one who has the solution to the problem, but just giving a listening ear can really make the world of difference. And as I said, be kind, because everyone is fighting a battle of which you know nothing about. E, be emotive and do what? Care for people. So what is the G? Gravitative and draw near to each other. R, receptive and hear each other. E, emotive and what? Care for each other. We emote or care in different way or express emotions in different way. Yes, man, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when you show persons that you care about them, you get the best out of them. Did you hear what I just said? When you show people that you care for them, you get the best out of them. I want somebody who never participated a while ago to open up the microphone and tell somebody in the room that you care for them. And there was silence for the space of half an hour. Anybody, just open your mic, call somebody's name and just tell them that you care for them.
Apollon Smith, I care for you.
Oh, you hear that, Apollon, your boss, you are cared for. Yes, you heard that coming from you, Drika. She cares for you. Yes, man. And it's not just about saying you care now, it's about showing you care. When you demonstrate that you truly care by sympathizing and empathizing, then no doubt about it, it's going to make people feel worthwhile and you are able to get the best out of them. So what is it that you need to do in order to be great? What is the G? Be gravitative and draw near to each other. That's how you make an impact. What is the R? Be receptive and do what? Hear each other. What is the E? Be emotive and care for each other. Before we go to the A and the T, I've learned that we have a singer in the building and we are going to break at this time to take a song and then we will continue. So the person who is slated to sing, please come and cheer us up with your beautiful voice.
Over to you, Rico.
Okay, not hearing you.
She's ready.
Okay, take it away, singer. Please make her welcome virtually. Put your virtual hands together. But now, let's start over. Let's do it with class. What's the name of the singer?
Cedrica Porteous Heavens.
Cedrica?
Cedrica.
Cedrica Porteous Heavens.
Yes, all the way from heaven.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to celebrate and to empower each other as we move forward together as a team, we are going to bring you some mellifluous music at this time. So put your hands together virtually and make welcome the pulchritudinous Cedrica Virtuous Heavens with her heavenly voice. Never get introduced like that yet. All right, come along. Let's hear it. Take it away.
Come in, having some technical difficulties.
No problem.
The army of Judah was paralyzed by fear when they heard a mighty multitude swiftly drawing near. But when we see deliverance, the victory would begin. But when we call upon the Lord, we summon all of heaven. Pray on, for you are who the Lord is looking for. Pray on, for this will tear those mighty strongholds down. Stay on your knees, for this is where the battle is won. Very soon you'll win the victory. Pray on. When Daniel faced the lion, worshiping the Lord, it seemed there was no hope at all for what would be in store. But when we stand on holy ground, our smallest prayer is heard. Instead of on our circumstance, our eyes are on the Lord. Pray on, for you are who the Lord is looking for. Pray on, for this will tear those mighty strongholds down. Stay on your knees, for this is where the battle is won. Very soon you'll win the victory. Pray on. When your questions go unanswered and your prayers may seem in vain, they don't seem to make a difference. They don't seem to make a change. Just rest assured God knows your need, and He hears each time you pray. Your prayers are reaching heaven, and the answers are on the way. Pray on, for you are who the Lord. Pray on, and tear those mighty strongholds down. Stay on your knees, for this is where the battle is won. There is no better place for you to be than seeking the Father personally. Very soon you'll win the victory. Pray on.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, pray on. Come on and put your hands together. Thank you so much. That was heavenly, literally, because it came from not heaven, but plural. Heavens. Thank you so much for that encouraging song. Pray on. Man, Western Regional got talent. Yes, you've just tuned into Western Regional Got Talent. So we continue at this time. Thank you so much again, Portraits Heavens, for that beautiful song, mellifluously rendered, encouraging us to pray on. So here we go as we continue. In order for us to navigate these times and to bring about the beauty of togetherness and how teamwork works in our favor, because two are better than one, and we do not only want to go fast, but we want to go far. That is why we must go together. Now we must be great. Let's spell it out again. GREAT. And the first thing we must do is to be gravitative and draw near to each other. We must then be receptive and hear each other. We must be emotive and care for each other. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we must be affirmative and hear each other. Here we go. Now, affirmation brings out the best in people. And looking at the times we are going through and the different challenges that your colleagues are facing, you need to be an affirmer. You need to be affirming even while you are being affirmed, because at the end of the day, it's reciprocal. I'm not saying that we're supposed to make it a transactional matter. I'll get to that in the tea, but we must learn how to affirm people, because we know that at the end of the day, when you bring affirmation into a situation of destitution, it brings regeneration. It helps person's spirit to be lifted. And affirmation must not only be given when persons are treating how you want them to be treated, but even when they are missing the mark. In fact, that's the time they need more affirmation, because if persons seem to be off and you affirm them, you are likely to win them back. You are likely to what? Break up the fallow grounds and help them to get back on track. Do you remember the story in the Bible about the woman who was caught in adultery? And they brought her to Jesus to be stoned. I am still wondering where the man is, because the last time I checked, you cannot commit adultery by yourself. But in the end, when they were hoping for the stoning to take place, Jesus began to write on the ground, and he wrote the sins of the others who were there. When they saw their sins and recognized that your sin is just as sinful, everybody began to take away themselves, himself. And then he asked the woman at the end, when they all scattered, "Woman, where are your accusers?" She said, "Lord, I see no man." He said, "Neither do I condemn thee." Now, this woman is said to be Mary Magdalene, one who stuck very close to Jesus thereafter. So much so, till one point, she was there washing him down with her alabaster box of perfume. An alabaster box and a cheap perfume in Natasha McLean. It is like a concoction of Ishmi Yorkie, Kim Kardashian, Usher Raymond, Gucci, Night, and all these things mixed together. And one of them said, "Lord, do you know what kind of woman that you ever touch you?" I said, "Leave her alone. To whom much is given, much is expected." Even when the disciples never went to his tomb on the morning of resurrection to check up on the body, they were going there to anoint him, but he was risen, thank God. Why? Because affirmation brings out the best in people. Let us encourage one another as we work together. That's another way to be a good team supporter. You can encourage people, so when they're in the midst of their discouragement, they can feel as if they're able to make it. Because let me tell you, things can be so distressing and depressing. We need people from time to time to give us a little affirmation to know that you are worthwhile, you can make it, you can do it, and know that things are tough, but you are tougher. Don't you give in. You can make it. We need persons to affirm us, for them to know that, hey, the challenges do not come to extinguish you. Do not call the fire station. The challenges come to distinguish you. Come on, somebody. You ever heard me now? As a Western Regional, whereas you are going through a challenging circumstance at this moment, the challenges do not come to extinguish extinguish you, but to distinguish you, to set you apart. So do not allow anything to take you down. You can make it. There is pain, there is suffering, there is difficulty, there's sickness all around, but you can make it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I get ready to take it into the next level, I invite Tasha McLean to bless us with another musical item. Tasha, make welcome once, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Tasha McLean.
Make us one, heart make us one, mind make us one. Let your will be done. Make us one, flame to proclaim your name. Make us one. Make us one, make us one, heart make us one, mind make us one. Let your will be done. Make us one, flame to proclaim your name. Make us one. Make us one, make us one, heart make us one, mind make us one. Lord, let your will be done. Make us one, flame to proclaim your name. Make us one, make us one. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together in love. Oh, bind us together, Lord, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together in love.
Amen.
Hey, come on. No, man, the amen will come from HR. One amen, that man. We need Lord. Give me one next. Drop another amen, somebody. Come, drop another amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Yes. Look here. But what you catch up PTL? Praise the Lord. So I wonder what PTL mean now, no, you Jacob. Thank you so much, Tasha McLean. Come through. Hey, when on the Western Regional Tabernacle Choir. Because they couldn't have all of the singing them down from the West. Eh? When Corona now keeping us will come together and bring together one dream choir. Come on now. So here we continue. Gravitative. Somebody said that we must type the meaning in the chat. You will get that soon towards the end. Listen to me now. Gravitative. Draw near each other. That's how we make an impact. And I'm not just talking about being in the physical space together. It's about interacting with people so that we can build rapport and bonds. And that is how we are able to get through this together. Receptive, hear each other. You may not always have the solution, but trust me, listening is a part of it. Because to give somebody an opportunity to let you know what's up deep down, it really makes a world of difference. Emotive, Care for each other, not just in what you say, but how you treat with people. Let us be kind to one another because everybody is battling something you know nothing about. And so be kind. Affirmative, and do what? Hear each other. Yes, man. Affirmation brings out the best in people. And even if person slip, as I had explained earlier on, before you give them the acts, get from them the facts. My professor, who suddenly died recently from COVID-19, Dr. Newton Cleghorn, would say to us back in the seminary, get the facts before you drop the acts. Get the facts before you drop the axe. And then I reinterpreted it to say, get the truth before you chop the root. And so affirmation is important. Learn how to affirm persons. And there are some individuals who do not come around to say anything if things are going well. They leave you to presume that if you don't hear from me, everything is all right. But as soon as things are going badly, then you hear from them. We don't want that type of an approach, you understand? We want to affirm. Just as though we will help persons to know when they are missing the mark, we must also let them know when they are hitting the mark. Affirmation brings out the best in people, and it shows people that you are looking forward to seeing them become their best. You are looking forward to seeing them perform at their best, and therefore never you fall short of affirming an individual, because as much as you believe some persons have all the motivation they need intrinsically, they need it to be padded from time to time with a little extrinsic motivation. I want somebody at this time to open up a microphone and to just affirm any one of your colleagues who is in this meeting at this time. Just open up your microphone, call the person by name, and just say a few words of affirmation to them. Not I affirm you. I wanted to say a few words of affirmation to them. Let's go. It seems DL3 is trying to speak, but nothing is coming through.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to affirm Mrs. Winstanley to let her know that we love her and she's, a part of us, and that I'm praying that all will be well and that we love her so much.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you very much. I don't know who is behind DL3, but that was a beautiful affirmation. Somebody in the background can just open up their mic and say, oh, you can't keep the oh. That is beautiful. There you go. Nice to see your face. And you heard that. Karine, you're coming with an affirmation with the oh? Which one? Oh, they're trying to connect the audio. So affirmation, thank you very much, Tamara Gray. I see the in the chat. Affirmation brings out the best in people. Yes, man. And that is what we do. That's how we build friendships. And then now we are able to inspire each other. When I am down, you help to lift me up. When you are down, I help to lift you up. And if both of us are down, thank God we are down together. So we can be down figuring out how to get back up. And there's a beautiful song that I love that talks about it. You don't know this one? Do you know this one? Do you know this one now? Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times and bad times, I'll be by your side forevermore. Come on now, because that's what friends are for. Do you know this part now? message from the Western Regional Health Authority. Yes, ma'am. We can depend upon each other because two are better than one. Can you imagine when you have an entire team down there in Western Regional coming together like this? And I know sometimes the reason why we fail to be gravitative and receptive and emotive and affirmative is because we might have had our little times and our isms and the schisms, but it's time to let the bygones be bygones. It's time for us to leave those bellies, hello somebody, and to put the past behind. Some persons have been carrying belly for so long they don't even remember where the belly come from. Lord have mercy. And I'm not talking about pregnancy, carrying hard feelings for people. But right now, we are about depending upon each other and affirming each other. Why? Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, come on, the choir. That's what friends are for. Yes, now, in good times and bad times, I'll be forevermore. Come on now. That's what friends are for. Are you hearing me, Jillian Legister? I said that's what friends are for. Are you hearing me, Danica? I said that's for. I said, are you hearing me, Alice Chambers? I said that's what friends are for. Are you hearing me, Celia Hawkins and Kelly and Denisha Hart? I said that's what friends are for. That's what friends are for. Ooh. A message from Western Regional Health Authority. So come on now. Leave all the isms and the schisms and skepticisms and let us move forward together. So what is the G? Note it. Be gravitative and draw near each other, not just in the physical workspace as far as social distancing allows. I'm not talking about that. You must be physically near is social distance type of near, but be there and treat people like people. Yeah? Treat people like people. So let them know that you are into them. Or be receptive and hear the folks around you. Because when you take time out to listen, even if you don't have to listen all the time or cannot listen all the time, it makes a difference because the fact that you're willing to open up your mentality to hear a little bit about their reality, it really makes a world of difference. The fact that you're willing to open up your mentality and to hear a little bit about their reality. And what is the next one now? E, emotive and care for them. For people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I'm not talking about mouth talk care alone, action, not a bag of mouth, that type of care, put the words behind it. I mean, what's the things tight, but if I know, say, you have good hygiene and good cuisine, and you be a piece of nice potato pudding, you can't want slice, man, for one of your colleagues and discreetly give them. You can't come down at the office, come give it to them in the public, you will get you a problem, I say, say you didn't mention one of the times you like potato pudding, so we bring one little piece of the porn. Anybody want to know, say, pudding name porn, you need to go consult your grandmother, you never get proper grandmother in. You understand now? We bring a little piece of the porn. And they feel nice, especially real cook. If they get the bun, and me say bun up, but the nice edge part. When I used to be around pudding, I used to tell them, Janelle Townsend, be free to cut out the big centerpiece. I will take the rim. You understand? And it does something really special. Sometimes you may not even have to go that far. Just bring in a little sweet, a little ginger mint, and say, hey, I brought you 2 ginger mint sweets today. So sweets. Trust me, the little things can make a world of difference. You don't have to do something extraordinary to care. Even the little things can accomplish the task. You may not have the type of money to say, come on, it's your birthday. I'm going to take you out for lunch at Boathouse restaurant. Lord have mercy. We can only get food at house, but just got Boathouse nowadays. But listen to me, you can do simple things to demonstrate houseboat, yes, man, restaurant, but that's something like that, even down a yacht club. But either to say, listen, me cook piece of salmon yesterday, now you don't know some my last name is salmon, so me are the salmon specialist, so me carry piece here, you know, so when you get salmon, you're busting, you know, because you're not talking about no Banga Mary and no Banga Joseph, you know, you're talking about salmon and a nice pristine and a pan-seared salmon in lemon butter sauce, served with some baby potatoes and exotic market vegetables. Not we're not talking about cabbage and carrot shredded, you know. We're talking about broccoli and cauliflower and julienne carrots. But that's when money around and water no more than flour. So what must we do? Learn to do simple things, not just by what you say, but how you say what you say. Because remember, how you say things will help to care. And then the little things, the little acts of kindness, you know. There might be somebody's birthday and they're at least expecting it. You can spend a little $500 or $300, you know, you're $350 and buy them one bottle of magic wine. If they don't have any spouse, you may not be able to provide them the other wine because that you're not the spouse. But at least you can give them a bottle of magic wine or $350. They go at this Chinese supermarket and you come around and say, happy birthday, Eudrika. I say, oh my gosh, you remember it's my birthday. Listen, man, it's about time that we treat each other like family. And these are some of the things you can use to do that. Affirmative and cheer each other. And finally, transformative and prepare each other. We must be transformational in our approach to people, to each other, so that we can prepare each other to deal with the challenges of life and to have a more meaningful life, even amidst the difficulties we face. Why? Because the challenges do not come to extinguish us, but to distinguish us. Persons who are transformational always seeks to bring up the best in a situation, and therefore they are not the transactional type. Transactional people, Kelly, give what they get. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You ain't scratching my back, you wait until your back starts scratch you. They are more exemplary. They come and scratch your back even though you never scratch them and say, hey, you see why it is important to scratch people's back? Now you know how back scratching is relieving, you know? And so learn to be transformational. We have some people who are transformational and some who are transactional. The transactional ones, they're as nice to you as you are to them. But transformational people, they are nice to you just because they are nice. And let me tell you, don't treat people like how they treat you. Treat people like how you treat them. You never hear me, Western Regional. Don't treat people like how they treat you. Treat people like how you treat them. Because at the end of the day, if you treat somebody badly because they are done bad to you, it means that you're bad too. It just takes something to trigger your badness. For example, have you ever had a situation where a woman said to the man, say, man, I give money and I take but bun. You know, when I was growing up, that one they usually play in my young days, you know, call it bun for bun. If a man gives a woman bun because she gave him bun, it means that he has a bun of nature. It just takes bunning to activate his burning. You understand? Thank God none of you getting born. Praise the Lord. PTL. So listen now. It just really says, treat people like how you treat people. And so even if they treat you badly, treat them well. Do good to them because you may be the one to inspire them to do better. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to make people take you for kunomono and daffy duck, take you for a fool. But as much as lies within you, try to inspire others to be better persons, prepare them to have a better life by being transformative. Now, a professor stood one day, Corinne Gray, in front of the classroom, and he held an orange in his hand. And when he held the orange, he said to the students in the lecture theater, I'm going to squeeze this orange now and give you a glass of grape juice. Everybody laughed at him. I said, that's impossible, sir. And he said, no, as a matter of fact, not grape. I'm going to change from that. I'm going to go for melon. And somebody said, you can't do that. And he kept on switching the type of juice he's planning to get out of the orange. And he said, as a matter of fact, if I want, I can squeeze this orange right now and get a glass of cranberry. And the students were like, sir, that's nonsense. And the boy stood up and said, sir, it is impossible. The professor asked, why is that so? The young man said, because oranges give you orange juice, full stop. And everybody chuckled. And after the class settled down, the professor clapped the young man and said, excellent. You have done very well. Orange gives orange juice. Oftentimes, we blame what's happening around us, and we blame the people and our circumstances for why we behave a certain way. But nothing comes out of you that is not already there. And so you cannot blame people for the reason you behave badly. You cannot blame people for the reason you treat them in a bad way. Because if you are a good person, it doesn't matter how they squeeze you. The only thing they can get out of you is what Tasha McLean. Goodness. Hello, somebody. Goodness is running after me. You understand? So you must treat people according to what is inside of you. Can a good tree bear bad fruit? No. Can a bad tree bear good fruit? No. Because what's in comes out. It doesn't matter how much pressure you put on the orange, you're not getting the grape juice out of it. What are you going to get? You are going to get orange juice. So if you are convinced that you are a beautiful soul, even when people rub you the wrong way, be the beautiful soul you are and be transformative, not transactional, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, do them back when anything you then do, you do them back. No, treat them well, just as how you would want them to treat you. Do unto all men what you will have them do unto you. That's how you become great. So be gravitative, draw near each other. We need each other, especially when we go through bad times, when we are going through a crisis like we are now facing. Be receptive and do what? Hear each other. Be emotive and do what? Care for each other. Be affirmative and do what? Cheer on each other. Be transformative and do what? Prepare each other. And you will end up making Western Regional a great organization. I must commend you for your level of attention. And I know that what happened to John with his teacher will never happen to any of you here today. When John was in class, the teacher scolded him for his lack of attention. When the teacher said, John, what is the capital of St. James? John said, Miss, honestly, I do not remember. The teacher said, you are such a lazy brat. You need to pay more attention to your book. As soon as the teacher turned around, John said to the teacher, teacher, what is it, John? The teacher was so upset. John said to her, who is Marsha? The teacher said, I don't know who Marsha is and I don't care to know. Why should I worry about who Marsha is when you don't even know the capital of your own parish, St. James? John said, I'm disappointed. You need to pay more attention to your husband. Lord have mercy. Welcome back. There's no Marsha here this morning, this afternoon. Amen. So go forth, Western Regional Health Authority, and do what? Be great. Be gravitative, be receptive, be emotive, be affirmative, and be transformative. Unity does not mean uniformity. You do not need to be like me in order to like me. We come with different personalities. We come with different temperaments. And so we can agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, allow nothing to separate you. If hurt has taken place, learn how to forgive and treat it as water under the bridge. In closing, in Rio Grande Valley, where I'm from, in Port Antonio, in the early segments, there's a bridge called the Golden Veil Bridge. And ever so often, no matter how often they put up these rails, the rails are broken off. How it is that the rails of a bridge that is high, so high in the air, the height of the bridge on an average is somewhere around 25 feet above the water level on a normal sunshiny day. So what's happening to the rails? No, nobody has stolen them. Whenever the water under the bridge gets high, because we allow it to come over the bridge, not we, nature, with the heavy rainfalls in the back river, then guess what? The river rises to that height, and all the trees and other debris coming down, are above the bridge. So what they do, they hit off the rails. And oftentimes the Rio Grande Bridge in Golden Vale ends up losing its rails. What am I saying? Not only so, then farms are washed out, animals are dead, people sometimes are killed. And the whole point is when water under the bridge comes over the bridge, it causes devastation. Leave the water under the bridge of the things of yesterday, the isms and the schisms and the skepticisms, and let us move together as a team. Why? Because if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, how must you go Western Regional? Go together. And as you go forth to be great, never forget, keep shining, keep smiling, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be there. Forevermore. Come on now. What do we say? Because that's what friends are for. A message from the Western Regional Health Authority and Johnson Motivates. God bless you.
Amen.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, thank you. So quiz time, you know, done yet? Quiz time. Quiz time. So we're gonna have.
What is the gift for the
a little pop quiz. I'm gonna be asking you some question, and you have to open up your microphone and answer. So let's go. First question. First quiz item. Sorry. Hello and welcome to the Western Regional Challenge Quiz. I'm your host, Jermaine Johnson. Hello, welcome to the national finals of the Western Regional Challenge Quiz with your host, Jermaine Johnson. May the best team win. In this segment, each correct answer will earn the team 1 point. And remember, you're only competing against yourselves because you're one team. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Complete the following. If you want to go fast, go alone.
If you want to go far, go together.
That is correct. Moving on. Please share one Bible text that was shared in the presentation.
You mentioned this, I don't remember the text, I didn't hear the text, but you did speak about the woman that was caught in the act of adultery.
All right, we can take that one.
Yeah.
Moving on, what does the G in great represent?
Gravitative.
And that requires that you do what?
Draw to others.
Draw
Close
Near
to others.
near. That is correct. What does the R represent?
Receptive.
Receptive.
And that requires that you do what?
Listen to each other. Listen to each other.
That is correct. Two persons sang during the presentation. What's the full name of the first?
Savika Porteous and Tasha McLean.
Incorrect. The first only has one name, but you gave two.
And who she wants to speak to?
Correct, you got it. Moving on.
From where?
What does the E in great represent?
Emotive.
And what does it require?
Care.
That is correct. Moving on, complete the following statement.
Hold on.
You do not, please complete the following statement. You do not need to be like me.
To like me.
That is correct. Complete the following. Unity does not mean.
Uniformity.
That is correct. Moving on, what does the A in great represent? Western Regional. Affirmative. And what does it require?
Chair.
That is correct. General knowledge. What does the T in great stand for?
Transformative.
That's correct. And what does it represent?
Mayor.
Prepare.
That is correct. Complete the following. People do not care how much you know
until they know how much you care.
That is correct. What was the lesson taught in the analogy of the eye, the nose, and the glasses?
We all need each other.
Perfectly said. That is correct. The speaker encouraged us not to be transactional, but to be
Transformative.
That is correct. And we come to the end of the Western Regional Challenge quiz. And the winner is Western Regional. Put your hands together for the winners. Well done, well done, well done. For your prize, may God bless you with his presence, protection, and providence. How better than that can it get? Praise the Lord. Listen, we're going to have a quick Q&A now, and then afterwards, I'm going to say a special word of prayer for you. Do you have any feedback or questions now that we are in the end of the presentation? Not water with wow, water with water. All right. If not, the pledge is mine, having shared with you today. And I pray that the tenets that were shared with you will really help to encourage you and to build synergy among you, even as you continue to go through these difficult times. Remembering that the challenges do not come to extinguish you. They have come to distinguish you. Do all you can within your power to mitigate the circumstances at hand. And when you are falling short because of your limitations, leave the rest to God, because if God takes you to it, he can take you through it. So I'm going to be praying for you now. So I'm going to be doing a part of a song, and then we have the prayer. Let me just determine which song it is I want to do. Okay. That's the song. I've had many tears and sorrow. I've had questions for tomorrow. There have been times I didn't know right from wrong. But in every situation, God gave me blessed consolation that my trials only come to make me strong. I've been to a lot of places and I've seen so many faces, yet there were times when I felt so all alone. But in my lonely hours, those precious lonely hours, Jesus let me know I am his own. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus, and I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon his word. Let us pray. Everlasting Father, Lord God, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for persistence, for resilience, and even excellence amidst turbulence. Lord, you see and you know the difficult times in which we dwell and all that is happening around us and how it has adversely impacted our lives. But in a special way, Lord, I have come today to lift up the team of the Western Regional Health Authority. Not only those who are tuning in now, but even those who are not able to make it to the presentation. You see the pressure. You see the stresses, Lord. You see the trauma and the dilemmas around them. And you know that they cannot just switch, Lord, from their emotions to do their profession. And so it will have a toll on them. But in the name of Jesus, I want to commit them into your care, that you may strengthen them, that you may rejuvenate them, that you may cover them, Lord, and bless them with your coverage. Even as they bring healing to others, bring healing to them. May your angel encamp round about them to bless and to do them good. Surround them with your mighty hand, and may they be covered under the shadow of the Almighty, that no pestilence might affect them, but that they may always be sheltered, always be protected. I decree and I declare your blessings in their lives, Lord. Provide for their physical needs, their financial needs, material needs, mental, emotional, spiritual, personal, and professional needs, that they may lack nothing good. Keep their faith rooted and grounded in you, with the assurance that with you by their side, they can face whatever storms or challenges they come across, because in the end with you, the challenges will not extinguish them, but distinguish them. Bless them that as a team, they will be great in the administration of their duties, even as they are great, gravitative, receptive, emotive, affirmative, and transformative. I pray and I say thanks in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you, Western Regional Health Authority. Thanks for making it Johnson Motivates, and have for yourselves a great afternoon.